On Thursday, 18th June, the people of Makerfield go to the polls, and the big name on the ballot paper is Andy Burnham, the mayor of Greater Manchester, the man who wants to be your MP. But before you vote for him, I want you to hear 3 stories that Andy Burnham doesn't want you to hear. 3 stories that show exactly the kind of politician he really is. First up, the case of Zayna Iman. She alleges she was drugged and sexually assaulted while in a police cell at Pendleton Police Station in Salford back in February 2021. She says she was strip-searched while unconscious. She says she woke up with blood and in pain. When she went public, Andy Burnham promised her a full investigation. He said he would make sure the matter was fully, properly, and independently investigated. 5 years later, the CCTV footage that could prove what happened has allegedly gone missing. The IOPC report has been completed but not published, and not a single police officer has been sacked. Zayna Iman says Burnham failed her. She said, and I quote, "I was told I would be helped every step of the way. It was lip service." This is a woman who says she was raped in police custody, and Andy Burnham, the man who oversees Greater Manchester Police, couldn't get her justice. That's not leadership. That's failure. Second story, and this one is devastating. Maggie Oliver, the former detective who blew the whistle on the Rochdale grooming gang scandal. She spent 16 years in Greater Manchester Police. She knows this system inside out. And what does she say about Andy Burnham? She says he failed to properly address the final stage of Greater Manchester's review into child sexual exploitation. She says the 4th review, the one that was supposed to check whether things had actually improved, was, in her words, little more than a paper exercise. She called it a cover-up. She said Burnham was happy to talk about historical failures that were already public knowledge. But when it came to leadership and courage, and dealing with what was happening in the present, she said, and I quote, "Unfortunately, he turned away. Let that sink in." One of the most respected whistleblowers in the country, a woman who helped expose one of the worst grooming scandals in British history, is saying Andy Burnham turned his back. And that brings us to the 3rd story. Reform UK has launched a full-scale attack on Burnham's record. Chairman Zia Yousaf has pointed out that Burnham had the power to act and simply didn't. Reform is demanding the release of files going back 40 years. They're proposing a 4-fold increase in funding for grooming gang investigations. And they're calling for accountability not just for the perpetrators, but for the police officers, social workers, council officials, and politicians who ignored the warning signs. And who is Reform's candidate in Makerfield? Robert Kenyon, a local man, born and raised in the constituency, a self-employed plumber, an army reservist, someone who actually lives among the people he wants to represent. He's not a career politician parachuted in from a mayoral office. He's one of you. So here's the choice on 18th June. You can vote for Andy Burnham, the man who allegedly failed a woman who says she was raped in his custody. The man who Maggie Oliver says turned his back on grooming gang victims. The man who has had years to sort this out and hasn't. Or you can vote for Robert Kenyon, a fresh start, a candidate who actually wants accountability. Andy Burnham had his chance. He failed the women of Greater Manchester. Don't let him fail Makerfield too. I'm just that British guy, and this is my take on it. If you agree, please subscribe and share this video. And if you're in Makerfield, get out and vote Reform UK on Thursday. Catch you in the next one.